Hitler is history, and so is the Soviet Union. But threats to the Western world order and our way of life remain.
It was looking around and seeing that people don't have a freedom of religion, a freedom to come and go, a freedom to, the freedom of worship, the freedom to go to school, the freedom to write, the freedom to read, the freedom to post certain things on social media.
Marty Martinez is a retired lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and a veteran of Fort Bragg. Martinez also serving as major in charge of planning exercises for U.S. Army Europe and partners in NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Today, there are 80,000 U.S. troops in Europe, plus 2,000 from Fort Bragg.
How do our tanks talk? How do our ships talk? How do our planes talk? Well, if we've never exercised it before, if we've never done any of this before, how does that happen? You can't wait till game day. Some of the partners, some of the allies that are closer to the bear are saying, hey guys, don't forget about us.
The bear is Russia, and the allies include Ukraine, currently staring at more than 100,000 Russian soldiers parked at the border. North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis this week meeting with ambassadors from 5 Eastern European nations.
If Russia invades Ukraine, it's a move on the chessboard to disrupt and potentially even threaten the sovereignty of other nations who have looked to the West and are looking to continue to build partnerships with democracies and to recover from years in the Soviet Union. So the American people need to understand that even though we're an ocean away, the safety and security of Europe is intrinsically linked with the safety and security of the United States.
A classic American foreign policy position, and Jonah Kaplan joins us now. Jonah, thanks very much, and thanks for that story, for listening to the soldiers there and for telling their story. And I want to ask you about that, about how the soldiers that you talked to and the sense that you got, how they feel there about coming over here at this moment. How does it compare with other deployments, say, to Afghanistan or Iraq?
Well, Terry, think of the soldiers who are probably 20 to 25 years old now. They grew up in the era after 9/11. We knew exactly who and what we were fighting. There was a face, there was a name, there was bin Laden, there was Al-Qaeda, then there was Saddam Hussein, then there was ISIS. Now there's a generation of Americans, many generations of Americans, who don't know much about or have forgotten about the Cold War, the Suez Crisis, the Bay of Pigs, the Cuban Missile Crisis, this idea of communism and how close it was, and the splitting of Germany, and the difference between our way of life, the Western world order, and this idea of living under communism. So for many of the soldiers, it was a learning lesson. It was an opportunity to kind of catch up on history and also to identify with past generations of American soldiers.
That's a great point. It is a little murkier here, those very stark opponents, adversaries that the United States faced. It is a murkier situation, but here they are, and one of the soldiers who's coming over, I guess, is the brother of the retired colonel that we just heard from in your piece. What impact do these deployments have? Does this deployment in particular, look, my own wife was a little bit worried about me coming over, and I'm perfectly safe here in Kyiv, but what impact does it have on the families of Fort Bragg? That these are the tip of the spear troops, these are the troops who are going to come over here at a time of great tension in this region.
Yeah, Fort Bragg and the 82nd Airborne, the 18th Airborne Corps, they are in charge of readiness. They have to be ready to deploy anywhere in the world within 48 to 72 hours. So they know if there's any conflict brewing, they have to go. And North Carolina has a rich military tradition. We have Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, which have contributed to past operations like Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, Inherent Resolve. We also have Camp Lejeune, which is down for the Marine Corps. So we have a lot of that. I think for a lot of families right now, speaking to them, and I actually spoke with some of the troops by you today, both in Poland and in Germany, just a couple hundred miles away, it's the fear of the unknown. We know we're there for posture, we know we're there for backup, but what exactly does that mean? We don't know when something could strike. We don't know who could be behind those strikes. And we also know that it may not be conventional warfare. Anyone here in North Carolina or the Southeast United States remembers the Colonial Pipeline disaster, where a cyber attack shut down access to gasoline. 70% of gas stations ran out of gas. Our intelligence services believe that was a Russian hacker, Russian ransomware. So there are any number of things that can happen over the next several weeks and months that may have nothing to do with Russia or everything to do with Russia.
And the sense here as well that if war breaks out here, it won't be contained here. Jonah Kaplan of WTVD, thank you very much for your story and your reporting and your perspective.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.